Here I am back at the sewing machine, ready to do my facings. You're only seeing me do one of the facings. You want to do them on both sides. So you have a left side and a right side. And that is part of sewing, is that you do everything twice, because humans have a left side and a right side and two arms and two legs and two hands and 2 feet. So you get to do everything twice. So again, we're stitching at 5/8. We're stitching on the curve, taking it nice and slow so we make sure we don't get any tucks, but if you do, you can just rip it out and do it again. And then we're going to pivot. And now that we're doing a straight seam, we can hit the pedal as fast as it goes and just keep on stitching. Now, we've got our facing attached and you're feeling your neck piece and you're like, this has so much gunk in it. This can't possibly be right. Well, it is right because you're awesome and you're doing great. But we are going to clip all of this gunk out so it feels like a nice shirt that you buy in a store. So again, we're going to trim our facing. We're going to trim that seam allowance. And we are going to cut some triangles. I'm going to switch over to my snips. We're going to cut some triangles, making sure not to cut into our seam allowance. I'm going to go maybe leave about 1/8 of an inch. And this is going to allow the seam allowance to open up so it'll fit into the smaller curve that is created by the stitching. We're going to trim this up until our shoulder seam. And then we're going to trim and clip our notches all the way across just our 2 layers, leaving this guy all alone for right now. So continue cutting these triangles all the way across your facing. And then we're going to grade our seam allowance so all this bulk doesn't end at 1 layer. We're trimming it down to about 1/8 of an inch. And then the next layer we're going to trim to about 1/4 of an inch. There's a lot of layers of fabric here. So take your time. Go as slow as you need to. You have nothing but time now. And we're going to trim that to maybe 3/8. And you can totally just eyeball this. You want to do that all the way across your fabric and all the way up and down your facing as well.